Hey, it's your boy Rassan.
Hey, it's Kev.
Hey, it's your girl Ebbs.
And welcome to another edition of Team USA's favorite podcast, We Ain't Them. Before we get started today, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. So, guys, how are we doing today?
My birthday's coming up. That's what I gotta focus on. My birthday's coming up, and that's it. That's it. Leo season is here, and it'll be great.
Yes, kick the cancer season to the curb.
Relax. Because Gemini been kicked to the curb. Anyway.
We the best. All that hate.
Two-Face.
All
But
that,
all right.
all that
Two-Face
hate in your heart. All that hate in your heart. Don't look good. Anyways.
How you been?
I'm sure you trying to be quiet over there.
I'm chilling, bro. You know.
That's right. Trying to get information out of us, huh?
It's another day in the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Since we y'all talking so much, Ebony, you ain't been here in a minute. So where you been at?
In school? No, I've missed you guys too. Yeah, school's been kicking my ass. So I had to take a little hiatus, but I'm back and I'm ready to deliver.
Ready and happy to have you back.
Thank you. Oh, shut up. In the words of Biden, will you shut up?
Well, since we're talking about
Fake news.
Fake news.
Well, since we're talking about fake news, let's talk about a big topic that we have in the community, which is the miseducation and misinformation of us as people. So in our culture, we are quick to believe any story or information that comes across us, especially on social media. There are several times where we're quick to create a narrative, and even though the narrative is creative, we never actually do our due diligence to look up the research ourselves. One of those big examples is, as you can see, Kamala Harris is running for president right now, and everybody's bringing up a whole bunch of narratives about what's going on with her and who she is and what she is. And, we've been doing this for years. We thought the worst of Kamala Harris. And in reality, nobody actually looked up the information to actually say, is that really true? So another good example is, which is a really sad one, in like 2020 when Chadwick Boseman passed away, when we saw him losing weight, everybody was quick to make jokes, and instead of like actually knowing what was going on, of course he kept it hidden, but we was quick to make jokes, and then weeks later he passed away due to cancer, stage 4 cancer at that. So in the words of Charlemagne the God, why do people care so much about the lies instead of about the truth? Sorry, my mistake, I said that wrong. Why do people care about the truth when the lies are more entertaining?
Kev?
I don't think it's so much that we care. I just think it's about the way in which information flows through us. Unfortunately, these devices are in our hands about 18 out of 24 hours a day,
Yeah.
So I think it really just depends on how the information flows in. Then on top of that, with everything else that's going on in your personal life, once you hear a story, somebody tells you something, you're just like, oh, here we go. And then you just stick with that, because again, life be lifing.
Right.
And sometimes I don't have the time to really take the step back to really research it or really look into it. And then to further that, like with platforms, like it's funny that Charlemagne is the one to say something like this, because with platforms like the Breakfast Club,
of all people,
and certain things that you talk about, and things that you keep up in order to keep your platform going, how much information is misinformation that you're giving? How much information is really opinion that you're giving at that point? And how many people are really taking the initiative to separate, fact from personal belief?
Yeah. I will say this. I think that it's easy to believe a lie more. Well, I would challenge that, right? Because with the whole, before social media was tabloid culture, right? And we got a kick, not all of us, some of us knew the shit was just like, come on, I think that's where it all started. Like the clickbait thing, before social media, we had the tabloids. And then when it came to social media and of course like YouTube and things like that, you have things that are clickbait, right? However, I will challenge the idea about whether or not it's easy to believe the lie rather than the truth. I would challenge that because I think it's based off of circumstances. I believe that sometimes it depends on the severity of the circumstance. I believe that sometimes people just make shit up just for clickbait and views. Like, I don't want to bring up Diddy, but like when it was just rumors back in the 90s or just in the 2000s or whatever, people enjoyed the clickbait and stuff like that. When Cassie blew the whistle, right, and was saying all this stuff happened and it's in court documents, of course you had a lot of people who believed Cassie. We all wanted to believe, well, I know I did. And then you had the small few that didn't, right? So there were people who thought that was a lie. Like, oh, she lying. She just want money. She want to come up. All these people accusing Diddy want to come up. But when the video surfaced, that's the truth. So it's like, it's circumstance. It's based off of circumstances and severity. We can easily go off of clickbait, but then there are times where the truth is shown in our faces. And it's like, okay, well, we didn't believe it then, but now, oh shit, there's no way around it. You know what I mean? So for me, it's based off of circumstances. There's stuff that's just made up and it's like, all right, there's no proof around it. And then there's stuff that just comes out and proves the lie. And it's like, oh shit, this is the truth. Like, you know what I mean? You get what I'm saying? I know I went off on a tangent, but
I'll do the reverse, right? So how about something that was a lie and it kind of tarnished somebody's career? Remember the whole Sydney Star Chingy
I was going to
incident?
say Chingy. Yeah, Chingy.
That was a big one where Sydney Star said she was sleeping with Chingy and it was actually false and it kind of messed up his career.
It did. It did. It was easier to believe the lie because it was just more, it was juicier. It was juicier. The truth comes out and it's like, oh, that's not as juicy or whatever. But, you know, I get it. Like, that could ruin there was another one where somebody's career got ruined off of a lie.
There's a bunch
It was
of them.
Chingy. It was somebody else. Didn't Freddie Gibbs get falsely accused of something?
I can't remember with Freddie Gibbs. One person who likes to do that a lot, and you know, speaking of tabloids, is Tasha K. She always likes to do that, and
She is tabloid.
She is tabloid.
She's modern day tabloid.
she'll spread the biggest lies for whatever reason, and she keeps getting lawsuits.
And the shit don't work.
I don't understand at what point do you look at yourself and go, all right, maybe I need to shut the fuck up.
But it's not working. The last lie she told, or the last thing she had, was she brought up somebody that knew Will Smith and was saying like, oh, Will Smith is my lover, or some crap like that. Like,
yeah, right now she between the lawsuit with Cardi B, I think Kevin Hart
is suing that ass.
Suing her.
Will Smith is probably going to sue her.
Jada said they suing.
And then I think as of late, I think the other one was like Soulja Boy.
Soulja Boy suing her too?
Yep.
Oh, for what?
Nah, because they accused him of something too.
Oh, Lord.
I'm like, yo, y'all
It's like you would think you would learn after the first one.
And you ain't got money, to be...
She said she ain't had no money.
However, like when it comes to Tasha K, if she doesn't tell lies, how is she going to make money?
You can no.
No. Hold on. I'm not excusing her behavior.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, I'm not excusing her behavior. I mean, put that out there. I'm not excusing her behavior. However, I think it goes back to my point about like, at what point do you say that this is actual fact or this is personal opinion? So for her, she likes to blend that all together in order for her to, number one, have a leg to stand on, number two, have something to talk about, and number three, continue whatever lifestyle she has created for herself in order to continue thriving in life. And I think that's the overall problem.
Okay, well, I will say this to you. There are thousands upon thousands of content being created on YouTube, on TikTok, on all these platforms. They making it work without doing what Tasha K doing.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm sorry. Even if it's your thing to do celebrity gossip and you want to spill the tea or the wine because she likes wine, girl, just say it's your opinion. Use the word allegedly. Like, why you keep...
Allegedly or in my opinion.
In my opinion. Like, you could do that. And I don't mean to bring up her rivals, but Lovely T stayed doing that. She was like, no, this is my opinion. Or if she has facts, she will pull out facts. She will pull out, like, literally receipts and stuff like that. So it's ridiculous.
I mean, I feel you, but then I think it also goes on us millennials too. Like, y'all remember back in the day when they said Sierra was hermaphrodite?
Oh God, that was so hurtful. That was something that could have ruined her career.
It could have ruined her career. But we all, as like, what, 11, 12-year-olds were like, what? She's a hermaphrodite. She said it on Oprah.
Yeah.
Can't nobody pull up the Oprah scene.
To this day.
Up to this day.
I mean, to be honest, they still doing that with Meg Thee Stallion right now. They still trying to make this whole thing about, oh, she was a man in her past life. Like some bullshit. I'm just like, y'all niggas is ridiculous.
Or even with like Beyonce when she was pregnant, that whole thing.
Oh yeah, that it was a surrogate and her belly folded or whatever.
Yeah, it's like, I feel like, and then again, everybody, I would say for the whole Beyonce debacle, that wasn't just the Black community. That was everybody. Everybody. And I feel like, yo, I don't know. People need to find something better to do.
I don't know. Like when it comes to misinformation and like in a totality for me, right? Like personally speaking, like I don't really care for it 100%. I read a headline, I see something on my phone or it's being discussed at work or even with friends or whatnot. I literally take everything for face value and then I just back away from it.
Right.
Because again, my life is lifing.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't have time for all of this BS that's happening here. You know, like there's certain things that I stand firm on 100%. Like, for example, you brought up Meg Thee Stallion. When the whole thing broke out between Tory Lanez and Meg Thee Stallion, I said, nope, against violence against Black women. For me, that's something that crosses my line. Absolutely, I stand on that. Right. And then, of course, I waited till more information came out and that was fine. Same way that, and I'm going to bring it up too, and I'll say allegedly, because again, whatever the case may be, the way Keke Palmer came at Trey Songz.
Hello.
And said that he's a weirdo.
Yep.
And the vibes were not right. Everybody tried to come at her. Lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit. Okay, for me. Now, again, all of them have either been dismissed or handled outside of court, whatever the case may be, closed behind doors, whatever. But at the end of the day, if the behavior is consistent for me, I'm not saying it's fact, but it's enough for me to look at you a little weird and be like, not for me.
And I will say another thing. What influences misinformation is the influence the person telling
100%.
I'll take it back to Keke Palmer and Trey Songz. A lot of people's, like the people who didn't believe Keke, their main thing was, oh, he would never talk to you. You know, he would never or whatever. And at the time, Keke was doing her thing in terms of her career. But at the time, Trey had like a more influence in terms of the music industry. You know, she was still kind of a not kid. She wasn't a kid. She was like a young adult. But she was younger. She wasn't who she was particularly today.
Right.
Right? And people tend to not believe Keke and side with Trey way more. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of the times the misinformation can be swayed upon who is telling it and how much influence that person has.
Yeah, because even if we're going into, not to even really bring it to politics, but if we're looking into this presidential election that's happening right now, like, these people really think this man got shot. Like, they really think this man got shot.
I still don't think he got shot.
This man, really, like...
Because they showed up a recent picture of him.
With the
his
ear
is
perfectly fine.
Perfectly fine, yeah.
Perfectly fine, but that man got shot.
That
All right.
nigga
I
get shot.
still believe he got shot,
Fake
y'all.
news.
I
Fake
think
news.
he got shot.
Oh,
fell.
child.
Somebody died.
Somebody did get shot. No, we're not saying that nobody died. But he didn't get shot. He just fell and he probably he got shot at. He maybe got shot at, but he didn't get shot.
I don't think that our former president has the wherewithal. Yes, I know he evil. Yes.
It's not even that. No.
Child, you mean... Hold on. You mean to tell me the former president of the United States, which is given a Secret Service detail, from the moment that you are president moving forward, there was an opportunity for a regular person to go on ahead and literally have eyesight of him to go on ahead and assassinate him. You mean to tell me before he got to this rally spot, right, that they didn't go on ahead and inspect every little which way, shape,
I found
form?
that strange too.
Again, like, I don't believe this.
I don't know. I understand what you're saying, but white people can just walk past anything. They got the privilege to do all that bullshit. And then you're surrounded by Republicans who believe in, bearing arms and shit like that. So he probably walked up in there with that weapon. They did not care. I've seen Trump supporters come to rallies with guns before. Like, I've seen it. You've seen it. Come on. Like, I don't know. We won't know until we know, guys.
All right. Y'all
Harris 2024.
Okay.
Yes,
y'all
I
saying,
agree.
okay, y'all saying all this, but before that even happened, let's just talk about, let's talk about the debate between Biden and Trump. Trump said nothing but lies. Nothing but lies.
And what did Biden say?
And see, but that's the thing.
Sorry.
We can't say, you know why? Because Trump stuff was more entertaining, so people stayed on the side of Trump. But you see how bad that is? We can't talk about misinformation and then do the exact opposite.
Just because it was misinformation doesn't mean, just because me personally, this is me, I was very unhappy with Biden's performance. Right? Just because I was unhappy with his performance does not mean I agree with everything Trump said. Except for one thing.
A presentation, you could have two presentations where you could have somebody who's just lying their ass off.
Yeah, he lied. Trump lied about a lot. Trump lied about a lot of stuff.
Yes, he did.
He did.
But
my president was supposed to show,
that's the problem.
That's why they kicked his ass to the curb.
Yeah, I'm like,
take your ass to sleep.
Y'all over here talking about golf. Like, what? The country is in turmoil, and y'all talk about golf. Got it. Harris 2024. And that's another thing. Can I just bring up, because you brought up, how now that Kamala is running, right? How a lot of information's been, fake and stuff like that. I want to bring attention to that because I find it very interesting. For me, I was not a fan of Kamala, I'm gonna be honest. Because I don't know, I know her policy, but it's I remember when Obama was in office and you would see Biden a lot. You would see Biden. You would see him around. You would see him and granted, he acted as that mediator between Obama and the rest of the government because, of course, this is a black man. Sure, he did. He served that purpose. But even with Trump, I saw Pence. I saw him around. Where the fuck was, I don't know where that girl was throughout the whole 4 years. I don't know.
You're not wrong.
Right? So that drew a concern for me. But she's running now, and listen, I don't want Trump in office. I'm going to be honest. I don't want him there. I don't. So Kamala has my vote. I will say this, though. I don't like how all of a sudden, now that she's running, all this propaganda surrounding, I don't remember the woman's name, but she pulled up a picture from Kamala in the 2000s, a picture of her and Montel Jordan.
Let me be honest with you, Eb. That picture, that's been going around for a while. I've been seeing that video. Okay, but
my thing is, why bring it up now and then create a narrative saying, oh, yes, Kamala was a whore, and look at her with Montel and two other women. That other woman was his fucking daughter.
Montel been saying that for years, though. He's been saying that for years.
Okay, it resurfaced recently, and we're talking about it now.
But they did that when she was VP, when she was the running mate.
Okay, but now that she's running for president,
they was gonna do that regardless.
Yeah, but why are you bringing up body count? People of course, Candace Owens bring up her body count, talking about how she's a whore, talking about how she thotted her way to the top. Bitch, when fucking Trump was talking about grabbing him by the pussy, you had nothing to say. You were endorsing Kanye, who is a known sex addict, who's being brought up on rape charges allegedly. Who has a sex addiction. These are people that potentially were running for president or was president at some point, and they had all these sexual problems. Not to mention, before the grabbing by the pussy, this man was having sex with porn stars. I think you could see his wife's pussy all over Penthouse. So where was the smoke then, Candace? Why are you having the smoke for another black woman who is trying to make this country a better place? Why are you doing that? that.
I got this.
And it's the misinformation of this black woman, Candace Owens, because the thing is, Republicans look at Candace as the voice of the black people for the conservative party. So when you have that type of influence and you're doing that shit, what does that say about you? And what are you trying to do? Why not have the same smoke for all these candidates? Why not?
All right, I'm gonna help you out there. You're talking about a person who earlier in the year tried to shuck and jive. She was for like sucking and shucking and jiving for all these goddamn white people. And then in this little small period tried to pander back to black people.
And it didn't work.
Do you remember that?
It didn't
For like
work.
a month, she tried to pander, and then she realized when it didn't work out, she went back to shucking and jiving and tap dancing for the white man.
No, because when the money was looking good, she got a deal somewhere.
It's not about that. That woman will do anything for clout.
I think she gets a kick out of antagonizing the black community. And that's why when the white people will remind you, let me tell you something. That whole thing with the Daily Mail or wherever she was at, that didn't humble her enough.
It didn't.
It didn't. They showed her that she was a nigga, but she ain't get it yet. And let me tell you, she gonna end up just like Omarosa Manigault Newman. She gonna end up just like her. She gonna end up just like Herman King. She gonna end up just like them. When they ready to remind you that you a nigga, Candace, they will. They will.
It's not a nigga.
They will.
It's the heart.
Whether it be through your husband, whether it be through the government, wherever you work, they'll remind you.
All right, so let's not do social media. Let's go a little bit lower. Let's talk about personal stuff. Has there ever been a time where somebody has told you misinformation and you believe them, and it caused like friction between you and probably another person, or just looking at somebody a little bit different, and then in reality that's not who they were?
I mean, when does that not happen? Like, there's too many examples within my lifetime that has happened, you know? Family-wise, friend-wise, career-wise, you know? A lot of people want to go ahead and run with narratives about you or create a narrative off of one instance of you. Like, I can say at work when I was, you know, less professional and less, you know, refined, you know, I had a blow up with my boss about something that I was right on. And he apologized to me. And the narrative that happened with that was that, oh no, Kevin went on ahead and like bit his head off, called HR on him, everything. Like he had to go on ahead and apologize just because he was trying to save his job. And where did all this come from? Again, it's like, perception versus reality is such a thing. Like, what is really happening here? Just because you perceive a situation a certain way does not mean that is what actually happened.
Yeah.
Which is why, again, I would say, like, from like teen years and let's keep it 100, like, you know, such and such was sucking somebody's dick in the stairwell and all the little dumb shit that we used to go through to the shit that we went through in college or whatever, or our earlier developmental years in our 20s and whatnot. I've really learned in all of that. It's like, yo, just like Patrice Roberts said, I'm going to drink water and mind my business. Like, that's what I'm going to do. Because there's no way, like, it's too much. It's too much. And then even with friends, when they come to you, oh, so you hear such and such.
Yeah.
Hey, what is it? Shh. Shh. Don't say that. That's me. I don't got time for it.
You're better than me. I want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I do. I do want to hear it. I want to be a part of it. Don't call my name in it. But
child, I'm not really trying to be here sipping the tea like that. Like, it becomes a lot. Like, now, if the tea good.
That's what I'm saying.
No, wait. If the tea good and the tea's factual, and I'm sitting there, you was a first party bystander to this, and I'm sitting there, oh, child. And then what happened?
And then what happened? That's me.
You know what I mean? But like all the smaller bullshit and all that.
Yeah, the
like,
petty stuff.
Get thee away from me, please. I cannot do it.
Yeah.
It's too much.
Don't put me in the middle. I just want to hear it.
But see, then
I'll listen. I'll be like, oh, okay. I won't say shit.
That's how misinformation starts too, because then you know somebody go and put you in the middle, say that you was in there, and whatever the case may be. Now you in it, and then you needing leaks.
Oh, well,
how did I get into this? Now we here.
You see, I ain't even did nothing.
I mean, I'll say the reverse. I mean, for me personally, have I started some trouble. Yeah, I think I have. I think when I was younger, I used to do dumb shit. So like all's fair. Like I used to say some shit that I don't know. I think at one point, all right. At one point, I kind of lied on my dick, which is like terrible. It's like that's some shit that niggas do commonly. Talking about I smashed this person, I smashed this person, I smashed it. I've done that before, and I've had I've had incidents where niggas have actually pressed me about it, which is very funny. Um, I mean, long story short, no shit, nothing happened, no fights, no nothing. But niggas have pressed me about it, and I had to, tell the truth at that point. And that's when I realized I was like, yeah, I need to grow the fuck up, like, cause shit like this is stupid. Like, it's pointless to make lies up to just stroke your ego. And like I can admit that, like I think like when I was younger, like I was trying to stroke my ego when I was just saying things about people and all that stuff. But as you get older, it's like it doesn't benefit anybody,
Right.
and it can hurt another person, especially if you got to look that person dead in the face and say, like you got to look that person and like it's fucked up. It is fucked up.
And that's the point, or that's that last point that you bring up, that you brought up about it hurting people. I think that's the factor that a lot of people don't understand is a real thing.
Yeah.
You know? Like whether it's on social media, whether it's at work, or whether it's within your own family, like you bringing up misinformation, lies, anything that's sort of like that truly can hurt other people. In a state and time in which mental health is a crisis, and again we're trying to pay more and more attention to it,
Yeah.
you don't understand where somebody's breaking point can be. And that littlest lie, that littlest whatever that you did say could really go on ahead and be the brink of destruction for someone.
Yeah.
So again, whether you have influence or whether you're just in your regular lives, you need to understand the privilege and power that you have with your words and your actions. And I feel like a lot of people just refuse to hold themselves accountable in that state.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Like, I mean, for me, I've never lied on anyone, not that I know of, or created a narrative. Anything I've ever said about somebody, it was true. If I was wrong, they did get an apology because I have no problem apologizing. Have I had narratives created about me all my fucking life? Pick one.
Well, unfortunately,
Pick one.
unfortunately, that shit starts with our parents.
Yeah.
It starts with our parents and our family.
Your family. It starts with family. I think the biggest one was, I mean, well, now I smoke weed, but I was accused of doing that shit when I wasn't. And that created a narrative because the family members that did it, they come from this kind of... They got an elevator in their crib. That's all I'm going to say. And so the narrative that they have that's created around them compared to me, it just made more sense to blame me, And I mean, apologies were made when the truth came out because God is so good, eh? But I will say this, to this day, like, I'm fine with my family. I'm fine with those family members, but I ain't gonna front. I don't trust them. I don't trust them. Because that same family member be doing it to other people, lying on them. Like, yeah, I don't trust them. I love them. I don't trust them.
You don't know.
So what do you think is like the biggest impact of misinformation in general? Like what's the end result of what can happen?
Trump getting elected in 2020.
Yeah. That
Just example. Sorry.
That's a great example. And I feel like that could, like we brought up very good examples earlier. Chingy, you could lose your career. Your career could be ruined. If people want to, like, once the damage is done, right? It's done. It's equivalent to that old saying, right? It was like a story where this woman was gossiping about somebody and it wasn't true, like whatever she was saying, right? And of course, that created a problem. So she went to a Catholic priest. And the Catholic priest told her to take a pillow, go on your balcony, take the pillow, cut it, and let all the feathers just go and come back to me. So she did what the preacher told her to do. And she went back and she said, I did what you asked of me. Now what? He's like, all right, cool. Now I want you to go back into the street and collect every feather that was released from the pillow. And she was like, how do you expect me to do that? Like, it's gone. They're everywhere. I can't find all of them. He's like, well, that's the consequence of spreading misinformation and gossip. Once you put it out there, even if sometimes when you come out with the truth, you will still have people like, no, I don't believe that. No. Because like Charlemagne said, it's better to believe a lie than a truth. And I like I said, I still stand on business when I say that is based off of circumstances. Whatever sounds better is what people are going to believe.
Yeah.
So, you know, once you put something out there, especially on social media, and then based on the influence you have, the following you have, whoever's affected by that lie or that piece of misinformation is going to have a lot to go through unless they are vindicated. And even then, it still can be a problem.
Yeah.
I think the main point that we always kind of miss is we're always on social media. Online bullying is the weirdest shit. Like, and I know, like, there's jokes, like, I know that Ali Sadiq says, like, cyberbullying makes no fucking sense because all your baby has to do is take the fucking, put the phone down, take the laptop off, and just leave it alone. But that's not a real thing. Everybody's so addicted to their phone, somebody addicted to the internet, that they're going to look. Like, they're going to look. If you say something or you try to stand on business on something that is false and it comes out to be a lie, it's going to be the worst of it. And unfortunately, because of those things, you know, the worst of the worst can happen. Unfortunately, we can't say that on YouTube, what can happen, but, you know, it's the worst of the worst that can lead to, yeah.
I really think it really goes into how much stock you're putting into things. Like I said in the beginning of this episode, I have social media. I enjoy it. You know what I mean? Whatnot. Put a picture of myself. You know, we use it for this platform or whatnot, but I don't take it too seriously. You know, like, I know I have some friends who are like, I need a social media break. This is too much.
Yeah.
And I find that funny because I'm like, you put this much stock into this? Like,
yeah.
Like, I just think it's a cool place to be. You know what I mean? However, my life is not in here. You know what I mean?
It's not a real place.
Yeah, I don't compare myself to people on this. But again, this is the personal belief that I built up in myself about this. I think that when it comes to where you're getting your information from, you know, like, for example, I'm not going on the Shade Room for my information. I have the CNN app for that. And then even with having the CNN app for that, I still have to be reminded that these are people who are telling certain stories and putting it out there based off of what this platform is going on ahead and giving.
Fox News.
So again, as... I was going somewhere until you said that. But for me, for us as people, especially within the Black community, do your fact check. If it's something that you really care about or something that you're really interested in, go and fact check that. Go and see what's happening there. But stop putting so much stock into this. Like, this is stupid to me. I don't understand it, and I don't think I'll ever understand how much stock people put into this, how it affects people and everything. And again, it's your own individual life and what you have going on and what you're going through individually at that moment. I get that.
Yeah.
I get that 100%. But seek the help. Seek the community that you have. Do what you need to do for yourself in order to free yourself of this, because this is not real.
It's not
real life.
It's not real. I wish more people understood that, but when you see people getting paid and living a luxurious life and things like that, which is also a narrative that's creative, a lot of these motherfuckers are broke.
And just waiting for the next viral moment.
Yeah, a lot of these motherfuckers are broke. So it's not a real place, y'all.
It's a weird, it's a catch-22 at the end of the day. It's like, damned if you do, damned if you don't.
I agree.
It's really weird though. Like, for example, like, all right, so let's talk about the Kamala Harris thing, right? Back to that. Eddie Griffin decided that he wanted to post a video and talking about why he's not voting for Kamala Harris for all the things he did. And people had to check him. He still hasn't responded back yet. How are you in these limelights and you don't know information yourself? Like, people been telling you, especially as a Black man, you need to do all your due diligence to make sure that you know all your information if you don't know your information, it's a little fucked up. And then when people check you, you still not going to respond.
Yeah.
Like, it's ignorance at its finest when you find out the truth.
And then I just want to go back to clickbait, like how people will do things. Like recently with what's her name, Megan Good and Jonathan Majors. Like, had I not seen the whole video, I would have, like a blasted sheep. Oh my God, Michael Ealy being shady. Da 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 da.
Right, that one.
It's like, but when you watch the whole thing, he hugged Jonathan first. So what is the problem? Like, why are we doing this?
Somebody did that on purpose. I don't give a fuck what nobody says.
Like, what do you get out of doing that shit?
Somebody did that on purpose. They cut off a piece of the video so that they could see.
To create a narrative. Like, and then even then people will still create. It went from, oh, well, he didn't even acknowledge Jonathan Majors to you seeing the whole fucking video to, oh, well, I wouldn't let my woman be picked up. Like, y'all just want to find shit to argue about. Like, go read a book. Like, go touch the Never mind. Watch this podcast. Like, do something else. Like, watch this podcast. Like, do something else. Like,
be productive in the community. Goddamn. Go do a food drive or something. God
Facts, yo. Give to the needy. People. Feed a pigeon. Like, come on, bro. Like, y'all doing a lot.
The most. Anyway, let's move on to another topic. From misinformation to misusage. Let's talk about Tyler Perry. So the reason, of course, I would say misusage is because of his misusage of how he likes to use black writers, or the lack thereof.
Okay.
So he did an interview, and when people were asking him, like, well, Tyler, why is it that you kind of pull this narrative for black people? And he's just like, oh, he threw a shot calling certain people who look at his content and talk about him as, what is it? Highbrow Negroes.
Highbrow Negroes. In other words, he calling us a bunch of house niggas.
Yeah, and he is the massa that says how stories are supposed to be told in the black community. So, guys, what are your thoughts on that?
You go first.
Yeah, I would love to. I will say this. I've had the opportunity to watch the documentary of Tyler Perry. I forgot the fuck.
Maxine's Baby.
Yes. I saw it twice, actually. And I'm not going to sit here and deny, like, Tyler Perry loves black people. He loves the black community. I love what he did with his studio, his dedication to iconic stars. I understand where he came from. I understand even with everything against him, because let's be real, white people ain't watching Tyler Perry. Like, and then when he came out with just the plays, the white community or any community other than us did not know who the fuck he was. So I'm not going to take away everything he has and everything he has done. I'm not doing that. However, I feel like Tyler Perry is hard-headed as fuck. Because it's not about us being a bunch of highfalutin Negroes and we're turning I ain't gonna front. I turn my nose up. I turn because it's just like, we're not a monolith, bro. I turn my nose up at the content. I don't give a shit. Because it's one-dimensional. You're running out of ideas. From the time I saw Boo, Medea's Halloween, whatever the fuck, and I saw a picture of Medea with a chainsaw, I'm like, you are running out of ideas, my guy. And it's okay. It is all right. You've done enough. You need to have more writers, and that's what a lot of people are saying. It's not people who don't give a fuck about Tyler Perry, who don't like it. It's people like us who grew up watching your plays and watching all this stuff that are telling you, like, yo, you're literally taking one movie and just creating it in different scenes and stuff. Like, he's literally taking either a Diary of a Black Mad Woman or whatever and just redoing it in different ways. And it's like, bro, you need to be more creative. You need to be more, have some writers. It's okay. Collaborate with the writers, It's okay to have writers. And I will say this, I don't feel like, I remember when we watched A Fall from Grace.
Oh, God.
Kevin, enough said, right? It's like, my guy. And it was his attitude. I remember watching when he went on the press tour for it. And he had the main character, I forgot her name, beautiful actress. And she said it. She's like, dude, like, you know, production with the wigs and stuff like that. And he was just like, listen, fix that. Get that together. It's like, dude, you're a billionaire. You're a billionaire. Like, you should have all these things you should have a production team, all these things for the actors to make sure that you are making the quality movies that you work so hard to create. I don't understand it. And when people tell you that, you're saying we're a bunch of highbrow Negroes. No, we're not. No, we're not. Because even when he comes out with movies like, Why Did I Get Married? If you look at the dynamics of all the characters, a lot of them had highbrow jobs. This one was a doctor. That one was a lawyer. This one was a da-da-da-da-da. But you still had that underbelly of abuse, of all this stuff. And it's like, dude, like, switch it up. That's all we're asking for, is to switch it up. And if I'm not mistaken, didn't he have writers and he fired all of them because he didn't want to unionize?
Mm-hmm.
That's a problem, sir. If anybody's how are you as a billionaire gonna sit back and call black folk highbrow? You're the billionaire, bro. You are highbrow. You're the definition of highbrow. And then the fact that you don't believe in unionizing and all this stuff, that's some highbrow shit, Tyler. So it's the what's the statement? The pot calling the kettle black. Literally. So I'm sorry. Yeah. Get it together, Tyler. We're tired.
So here's my thing, right? And I keep it 100. Black content is so accessible, yet so inaccessible at the same time. And it's very frustrating to me.
Mm.
And to put Tyler Perry at the top of the list for black content is very frustrating to me. I agree with everything that you said. Again, you are the billionaire. You have your studio. I love the work that you are doing. I love that you are paying people what they're worth. Because, again, many people have said that Tyler Perry was the first person to pay them what they're worth.
Yeah. A lot of people. You're right.
So I appreciate that. However, again, in watching Maxine's Baby, in watching your story, in watching the trauma that you went through or whatnot, I can understand why that is the content we will get from him.
Okay.
And I don't believe Tyler Perry has the capacity to look past content like that, because these are the stories that influenced his life. And I get that if you're going to make that type of content, you make it. However, there are other ways to portray the black community, and there's other stories to tell.
Mm-hmm.
We need to give Ava DuVernay some flowers here. We need to give Issa Rae some flowers here.
Amen.
We have to give John Singleton some flowers here.
Amen.
Okay? Whoopi Goldberg. The list goes on and on about black producers who are sitting here and ready to tell other stories.
Yes.
We cannot continue to put Tyler Perry at the helm of this.
And I'll also add Donald Glover.
Yes.
Please. Yeah.
There's so much more out there, you know? Mm-hmm. Again, Shonda Rhimes is out here, came out with Scandal, boom. And now, again, everybody's stories are not always going to be for us.
She also did Bridgerton, right?
Yes.
Okay. See?
You know?
Diversity in the writing. Diversity in the fucking writing.
Diversity, creativity, you know what I mean? Like, just these visionaries are out here. So we need to make sure that we're looking at these other stories. And then, of course, there's other producers that are out here. One of my coworkers is working on a film right now.
That's what's
You know what I mean? We need to make sure that we're looking at other streams and forms of content to look at. Mm-hmm. Now with Tyler Perry, brother, I have my own opinions that I will not say out loud.
I want to hear him.
The man lost.
He's lost.
He's lost in the sauce.
I think
don't know
he lost the plot.
He's lost in the sauce. I don't know where he's at. I think that he has a lot going on, and I think that more therapy is needed. However, Tyler Perry, I don't think it's responsible of you to go out and call us high eyebrow Negroes. Mm-hmm. I don't think that was responsible of you.
No.
If you came out and you were just like, yo, if you don't like my content, don't watch it.
I can
I bet.
respect that.
Like,
I
I
can
respect
respect that.
I can respect that 100%. Because again, you don't have to watch it. You're choosing to watch it.
Exactly.
You know, I chose to watch Divorced in the Black.
We started watching it and fell asleep.
Like, yeah, I chose to watch it.
That beginning was wild.
It was a bad movie.
The beginning was wild,
like,
bro.
yeah, first 10 minutes, crazy.
Wild, bro.
After that, it was like, dang, another one. And that's fine. It's fine. It's the content. Again, I chose to watch it, right? I had my Amazon Prime subscription. It was on. It was featured at the top. I was like, nah, let me give it a
why
chance.
Not? Why not?
Cool.
Yeah.
And I chose it. I didn't like it. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
It is what it is. If that seems to be the opinion of so many people out there, hey, if you want to pay attention to it, pay attention to it. If you don't want to pay attention to it, that's cool too.
I'm going to be honest. He going to end up... and this is... Before I say what I have to say, Tubi is a platform that is dedicated to up-and-coming artists, up-and-coming writers, actors, actresses. So I'm not shitting on Tubi. But if he keep this up, he gonna end up right there.
No, he's not.
No, he's not.
I think he will.
He's not.
If he keeps it up, yes.
He has enough money to create his own goddamn app at this point.
Okay.
He can.
Okay.
He
Oprah created OWN. Is people still watching? Is that still
absolutely.
a thing?
Yeah, absolutely. I love OWN.
Absolutely.
For real? What's
Queen Sugar was on OWN. That was a great story.
What's Queen Sugar? Okay, we'll talk.
But this is what I'm saying. The thing is, we say this. We're not saying this, and I think Tyler Perry doesn't understand. When we say things, we're not saying this to be malice.
Exactly.
We want better for all black people.
Yeah, 100%.
And if you're not willing to listen to that, I don't care how much money you have. At the end of the day, you have to be able to change with the times. Like Vince Staples said it best. He was like, "Yo, nobody want to always hear about fucking black trauma their whole fucking life."
Oh my God,
like,
not all the
nobody wanna hear
time. We
that
want to see
shit.
some happy shit,
Like,
bro.
yo, you can make happy moments. You just have to find the writers to do that.
Or even if you want to talk about trauma or whatever, like there's ways where you can he needs writers. I'm sorry.
Like a good example is Abbott Elementary, right? Abbott Elementary is a reality that teachers face constantly.
Yeah.
Right.
But the way they made it was so creative that it could be funny, it could still be good while still spreading a message. You can do that, Tyler Perry. You just got to know how to do it.
You have to choose to do it.
There you go.
It's a choice.
Yeah.
You have to choose to do it. And he is choosing to stay within the trauma and the realms of what he knows.
Mm-hmm.
And if that works for you, if you like it, I ain't gonna say I love it.
Yeah.
But if you like it.
I just feel like there has to be some type of diversity. Like I don't mean to bring up Donald Glover again, but I will. Because I saw a scene the other day from the last episode of the last season of Atlanta when they went into that black-owned sushi spot. Mm-hmm. It just reminded me of Tyler Perry because they don't want the food really. It didn't look appealing, but they saw Popeyes across the street. And they looking at Popeyes, and this guy's like, well, we as a black community have to da-da-da-da-da. Like, he was literally calling them highbrow Negroes or whatever, or vice versa, right? And it's just like, bro, we like what we like. But I bring up Atlanta to just say, Donald brought up trauma, but he brought it in a surreal way. In a way where there was a hint of comedy. It made you think. It was thought-provoking. And he had writers. It wasn't just him. And I just feel like, Tyler, dude, we're just telling you as a community of people who grew up watching your plays, who grew up watching your material, we've seen it already, my nigga. You can't win a new audience with Medea, a new younger audience with Medea.
Yo, I'm going to be honest with you. Aaron Magruder and Donald Glover kind of put a mirror in your face, and you don't like
and
that
you
shit.
still don't
You
get
don't
it,
like
bruh.
it. You don't get it.
You don't get it,
like,
bruh.
you don't need to be dressed. Like, one thing's for sure, two things for certain. Tyler Perry going to do the one of the many things. Either he going to do something with black trauma in it, he going to dress up as Medea, an old woman who at this point should have died because she is way too goddamn
Yeah, boy.
old.
Yeah, boy.
She moves too freely. Like, she is not on she not on no walker, no nothing. She just...
He not even aging her.
Not aging
There's
at
no
all.
character
No.
development.
Yeah, I gotta chill.
Like, nothing. Like, it's one thing. Like, yo, it's trauma. It is Medea. And for sure, it's messed up wigs. There's one thing for sure, two things for certain.
The hair budget has gotten better. I will give him that. The hair budget has gotten better.
For who? Where?
It wasn't black. The wigs was wigging.
That's because Megan Good was helping
Well,
him.
the wigs was wigging. Okay.
Because Megan Good was helping out with that. I feel
Wigs was
like
wigging.
if left it to him, them shits would have
wasn't-
been hard.
First of all, that first 10 minutes of that goddamn movie, this woman took off her
Plop
goddamn
off,
wig.
Yeah,
it was,
she should
it,
have.
it was a
She took off her
hat.
wig.
She
Was
said,
it a hat?
Take him out.
Yo,
Yo, and that made me
Dude.
go, bro, I can't. And that's why I don't, like, Tyler Perry will be fine, but Tyler Perry, I have no faith in regards
yeah,
to
because
the black community.
he remind me of them old people that's just set in their ways.
to the community out there, whoever's the next Tyler Perry, whoever's the next Ava DuVernay, whoever's the next Issa Rae,
Quinta Brunson.
we're ready for the stories. We're ready for what you're gonna bring. We're ready for something new.
Oh yeah,
We just ready for something new.
I second that.
Sometimes you got to sit an old horse down, and
Yeah, Old Yellow got to be put out in the
you
shed.
Not
just gotta
Old
sit him down.
Yeah, man, it's time. With that being said, I'd like to thank my co-hosts Kevin and Ebony as always. Welcome back, Ebony.
thank you.
We only have her for a couple of weeks, so enjoy her while we can, because she's going back in the cave.
Leo season.
And it's Leo season or whatever. With that being said, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram. Check us out on YouTube. Subscribe, guys. Get our numbers up. We ain't trying to work at our jobs no more. I mean, I like my job, but I'm trying.
Subscribe, ladies and gentlemen.
That's all I got to say. With that being said, I've been your host, Rasan, alongside my co-host, Kevin and Ebony, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
Later, y'all.
Bye.